everyone. Today I'm going to be going over the topic of vulnerability and how vulnerability is actually the greatest gift that we have. It's actually our greatest strength and superpower, but for the ones who are willing to use it. The ones who are really willing to use vulnerability to their advantage, they're going to be the ones in life that succeed. They're going to be the ones in life that not just succeed on a financial level, they're going to be the ones on an emotional, on a physical, and on a mental level. So your overall well-being plus the status, the success, the fun. I really want to crack down on today on how society actually makes vulnerability look like a weakness when it's actually a superpower. And what I really want to crack down on is how vulnerability plays a key role in life and is actually part of the yin and yang cycle of it. Learn to master and balance life. You'll learn everything. You'll live life to the fullest. That's what it is. Alright, well, to start off with vulnerability, you see, society has depicted vulnerability of being a weakness. Of if you're vulnerable, you are pathetic. That cannot be any more wrong. You see, vulnerability is actually the greatest strength anyone could have. Having the willingness to put yourself out there with fear of rejection, with the fear of judgment, with the fear of lack or abandonment. You see, you took the courage to get out there, knowing well that could happen. So let me tell you a little personal story about me. It's about a year and a half ago, August of 2019. See, these big questions have started getting to me. These big questions about who I was and what I was doing. I knew what I was doing at the time was wrong, and I started to pick up on this, and it kept coming in the back of my mind more and more, and it got stronger and stronger. But the stresses at the time, a lot of it was not school. School was more of yes, it brought anxiety. It brought a lot of anxiety. It was more home life. A lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, a lot of, I was very closed off to people. Even still now, I'm working on it. I finally freaking figured this out. So, learning a lot about that and a lot about, I was sick and tired of being alone. I was tired of being tired all the time. I was tired of having the same emotions, the same awful stuff happen every single day, always being in like a depressant mood, always feeling like nothing, like you're just a brick wall and you can't feel a thing. And over time, this just kept piling and piling and piling until one day it's like, no, I'm done. And I had it. And I remember being in my room, I was looking up at the ceiling. I was looking up. And I started to do some reflection. And I'm like, yo, Isaac, dude, where have you gotten yourself? Look at where you've gotten yourself. You do nothing but play video games all day. You do nothing but that. You eat bad. You don't keep up your mental state. You don't have a good physical body. You don't, there's so much of this stuff that it's just self-care. It's just bro, the dreams, the stuff that you want to do, you're not going towards it. If you don't make a change, you will never get there. What we do now is what we're going to be doing then. And at the time, I've started to know this. Started to realize this and pick up on this. And I'm like, ooh, okay. So in my bed, I was reflecting. And I'm like, honestly, when I was reflecting, the reason why I didn't want to do it reason why I suppressed it for so long until I finally popped is because I didn't want to look at it. It was depressing. It was sad. It was alone. It was fearful. It was anxiety. And facing that truth was one of the toughest things that I've done, and is actually one of the greatest things I've ever done. Just because of who I am now and who I'm gonna be for the rest of my life. I thank that version of me for taking that choice, to be willing to be vulnerable, to open up to myself and accept that this is who I am. I am not this other kid. I am this kid living this life, doing this lifestyle, having these habits. This is all me. So I really, really did and digged into myself. And then I'm like, well, what does matter? What does matter? And I'm like, and all of a sudden, popped. What matters in life is who you are and who you want to be. I just, right from that moment, I knew forward that I was going to make a change. I made a self-oath to that. A self-oath to myself that I was going to change. And I did. I did very well. And it was incredible. First, it was amazing. And my journey just kept going, and now I'm here. See, but none of this would have happened. No change would have happened. No, nothing would have happened. No new emotions, no new happiness, no new bliss, no new joy. That never would have happened if I didn't make the switch. If I didn't switch, I would still be where I was then, now. And honestly, oh my gosh, that would be awful. That would be absolutely awful. I would honestly hate it. I hated it then, but if I did it now, I'd still hate it. So I took that vulnerability into accepting that. And that was the first step. But then I realized, more now, about 2 weeks ago, I realized that vulnerability is actually the key to living the fullest life, is the key to truly living and breathing on this planet, to expressing yourself, is to be vulnerable. Most people don't want to express themselves. Society has just made it like that. It's just the media, news, all that. Don't show who you are, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that. But when you realize that you'll always be running from fear then. You are a living being. Any move that you make, you are expressing yourself. So when you're always trying to escape not being vulnerable, you're actually also being vulnerable in the process, because you're moving, you're doing things, thoughts, everything. You're expressing yourself. But being vulnerable is to the degree that you express yourself. How far are you going to express yourself? See, living a full life is taking full advantage of that, of expressing yourself in ways that only you can do, that are unique to you. And actually writing the script that I have for this video, I've actually realized that there are two ways, or not two ways, but a dual in life. Yes, our world is very, very dual, I knew that, but this type of duality is yin and yang. I've realized that there is vulnerability and there is security. You see, vulnerability is the willingness to adventure, to have new ideas, to pursue, to be an entrepreneur, to be gratifying, to be intimate, to be yourself, is to be awesome. That's one part of yourself, right? But society really, really emphasizes the other side of yourself, which is security, which isn't bad at all. Security is great. That's like financial success. That is like comfortable relationships, comfortable house, food, water, all the physical needs. Vulnerability is all about the emotional and more spiritual needs, while the security is more on the physical. Things you could touch, feel, pleasure, senses. It's more on that. And realize that it's a yin and yang between these both. And to truly live your fullest life, to live the best life that you can, is to balance these. See, because if we live our life always on the security side, things get old. Things get boring. And that stuff sucks. That's what happens to most of us, especially if you try to go through a spiritual awakening. That's usually what happens. You're so fed up in security, insecurity, insecurity. But when you're put in security, it only goes so far. It can only give you half of life. And half of life is not a full life. And trust me, you do not want to live just in scarcity or insecurity. You don't want to live there. You don't. You've experienced it with this video. If you're watching this video, you've experienced it. Scarcity. Or, no, security, not scarcity. Security. But with vulnerability, on the other hand, see, vulnerability is so much more than what we know. Like, it's so much more than what we would think. We think being vulnerable is, being intimate with your partner once in a while. No. This comes to everything that you do. How you present yourself, confidence, how you do things, if you're secure with who you are. This goes down to everything. Everything. This is being new, being adventurous, taking risks, being bold in life, being original, being yourself. This is taking the chances. This is rolling the dice. This is going into the unknown, but being confident. Being in that insecurity. Being in that unknowingness. Not knowing. You see, but most people would call that as, oh, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad, that's bad. I don't know what the future's going to be. Well, let's be honest. I even got to remind myself of this. We don't know what the future is. We can't predict anything. See, no one could predict this pandemic. No one can really predict when the next thing's going to happen. We don't even know if the sun's going to rise tomorrow. See, anything can happen. Anything. So we can't really know. So in knowing this, it helps calm you down. It really does help calm me down. Is that I can't know the future. I don't know it. I didn't know this was going to happen. I didn't know all this self-improvement stuff was going to happen, but yet it was the best thing that's ever happened to me. And I don't know. See, the future might not just be bad. It could be very, very good. This is where your perception comes into play. Use your perception as the greatest weapon. Actually, not weapon. As the greatest ally that you have for yourself. Think of a more positive outlook on life. Really get into it. Because having that positive outlook, that's what's going to change everything. When you are positive, when you are confident, when you are bold, when you are secure with who you are, no one can take you down. Nothing can stop you. The only person that can stop you is you. So when you're full with who you are and you express yourself on a full level with vulnerability and security, then you're going to live life to the fullest, my friend. You are going to live. And you've already won. It doesn't matter. You've won. You've won. You've already won. Let me talk about more about what you've already won. See, when you're in that state, that attracts so much abundance. It attracts so much love into your life. And you see, being vulnerable is the missing key to a lot of just problems. It's just vulnerability. Many of the things people really, really want to be successful, So they work and they work and they work and they work, but they're always in that go state. I'm also talking to myself. When you're always in that go state, it doesn't help. You're going, but who's leading the charge? You might be going somewhere, but where are you going? What direction, what goal, what vision do you have? Is this what you want, or is this what they want? Did you want to go to college, or did they want you to go to college? Did you want that job, or did they tell you you should want that job? You see, we're told all this stuff growing up, and it influences our decisions. But you have a choice now to expand beyond that. To expand beyond your awareness, your current awareness, to be better. And being vulnerable is the first step. Be vulnerable with yourself. Be vulnerable. If you don't accept it, if you don't do anything about it, it's not going to change. And vulnerability is where you start. That's the beginning. That's the stepping stone. That's the first step. I'm not saying that you're going to achieve it tomorrow. I certainly didn't. It took a year and a half before I really started breaking away from my chains. When every chain was released. It took time. As long as you have a stepping stone, as long as you start small and you keep going, as long as you are consistent and you show up, you are bound to succeed. As long as you have that thought, as long as you start to put that into play and into action, you will succeed. And a little quick tip for this, be patient. Seriously, be patient. That's something I struggled with. I wanted to be the best version of myself in 10 minutes. That didn't work out for me. See, even now, I could be so much better. There's so many things I can work on. But have more patience with the person you want to be, with the goal you have in mind. Because really, it takes time. And there's only so much we can do in a day. And that's what I learned harder way, through anxiety, through fear, and through lack. I thought I wasn't going to make it. I thought I wasn't going to do it or anything. But all I had to do was wait. Be patient. As long as you show up and you do, you're bound to succeed. So, I really do hope that you choose vulnerability, or you try it. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. Trust me, it is uncomfortable. But be adventurous. Take a stand. Take a chance. Not on anyone, not on your parents, not on your freaking society, not on politics, not on all that stuff. Take a chance on you. Take a chance on who you are. And you will succeed. Hey everyone, end of the video. Just here to talk about, thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. I do like your help, alright? I want to get the word out, and I like doing these videos, so thank you. But, see, vulnerability is not your enemy. I thought it was my enemy for a very, very long time. I always wanted to escape reality. I always wanted to escape it and not to feel, but it's telling you, alright? That vulnerability, take it for a spin. You'll be surprised where it gets you, pal. You will be surprised. It's a gift. Being vulnerable gives you everything you could want. Literally, it gives you everything. Confidence, gives you security, gives you boldness, courageousness, all those traits that people like. You can have them. All you gotta do is just be vulnerable with yourself, and you'll start. That's all you gotta do. Just start there. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. And please remember to just stay chill, bro. Don't overthink this stuff. That'd be me. But hopefully I will catch you in the next